Welcome back to Stoic Spirit, where we delve into the ancient wisdom that can transform your life today. Imagine this. Someone, perhaps even someone who once took you for granted, is now constantly preoccupied with thoughts of you. Their mind keeps drifting back to you, unable to shake the memory of your presence. Every moment without you becomes a yearning, a deep-seated craving for your return. This isn't some unattainable dream. It's a reality you can create by mastering the art of subtle influence, rooted deeply in Stoic principles. Today, we're exploring a powerful strategy that transcends mere tactics. It's about understanding human nature and the profound impact of your presence, and more importantly, your absence. By embracing the philosophy of strategic withdrawal, you can elevate your worth in the eyes of others, not through games, but by revealing the intrinsic value you carry within. As Lao Tzu once said, by letting go, it all gets done. There's a profound strength in knowing when to step back, allowing others to realize what they stand to lose in your absence. Think about the ripple effect you could create, not by always being present, but by mastering the art of knowing when to retreat, leaving behind a void that only you can fill. The mind, as Shakespeare noted in Hamlet, is a piece of work, constantly working to make sense of what it cannot fully grasp. When you withdraw, you plant a seed in that fertile ground, a seed that grows in your absence, compelling others to think of you more intensely than if you were right in front of them. But this isn't just about stepping back. It's about how you've imprinted on their thoughts. It's about creating moments so charged with meaning that they echo in the minds of those you've touched, long after you've gone. As we journey together through these principles today, consider how you can craft an unforgettable presence, one that lingers in the minds of others, not just because they miss you, because they are drawn to the undeniable value you add to their lives. This video isn't just another lesson. It's a roadmap, becoming unforgettable. By the end, you'll not only understand how to make your absence felt more than your presence, but you'll also be equipped with the tools to leave an indelible mark on those around you. This is about mastering life, not by force, but by finesse, by embodying a presence so powerful that your absence is felt more profoundly than your presence ever could. As we dive deep into these principles, ask yourself, what impression are you leaving? How are you crafting a presence that continues to resonate, even in your absence? Share your reflections in the comments. Let's build a community where we don't just live, but live with purpose and intention. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Stoic Spirit. Join us in mastering these timeless truths, and let's embark on a journey of becoming truly unforgettable. Number 1. Self-control. Is it better to be feared or loved? Machiavelli once posed this question, but here's a different perspective. Is it better to react or to remain composed? Power of self-control is often underestimated, yet one of the most compelling forces you can master. Think of self-control as the cornerstone of not just personal strength, but also influence. Picture yourself in a heated argument at a family dinner. Tensions are high, accusations fly, and everyone expects you to lose your cool. But instead, you take a deep breath, smile calmly, and choose your words carefully. That moment when you decide not to let anger dictate your actions, that's a demonstration of self-control that no one forgets. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it, that matters. The ability to stay calm under pressure isn't just a Stoic virtue. It's a game changer in life. When you exercise self-control, you become the eye in the storm, the calm amidst chaos, and people are drawn to that kind of presence. It's like being a lighthouse in a turbulent sea, steady, reliable, and unwavering, guiding others simply through your composure. The Stoics believed that self-control isn't just about restraint. It's about mastery. You're not denying yourself the right to feel. You're choosing how to respond to those feelings. Much like a skilled archer who knows when to release the bowstring for maximum impact, you learn when to speak and when to stay silent. This is why Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Self-control turns you into a strategist, a master of your own actions, someone who chooses their responses wisely rather than being at the mercy of external events. Let's take it a step further. Picture being in a high-stakes business meeting where tempers are flaring over a missed deadline. The room is thick with tension, and everyone is pointing fingers, trying to pass the blame. Instead of getting sucked into the blame game, you calmly assess the situation, focus on solutions, and steer the conversation toward finding a way forward. That calm leadership doesn't just resolve the crisis. It makes you stand out as the one who kept their head when all others were losing theirs. This kind of composure is rare and memorable. It's the subtle difference between being just another voice in the room and being the voice that people turn to for guidance and wisdom. Self-control is like a superpower. It sets you apart in a world that often rewards reaction over reflection. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being the master of your emotions. Imagine being so in control of your reactions that others marvel at your poise. This is how you make a lasting impact, by being the steady hand, calm voice, the person who can be counted on when things get tough. Here's your challenge. Next time you're faced with a situation that threatens to shake your calm, pause, take a breath, count to 5, and decide how you want to respond, not how your emotions want you to react. Practice this in small moments, like dealing with a stressful email, and see how this practice of self-control changes not just how others perceive you, but how you perceive yourself. You'll notice that people start to look to you not just for your calm, but for your strength. They'll think about how you handle yourself, and in doing so, they'll think about you long after the moment has passed. So go out there and harness this power. Let your calm, controlled self be the reason they think about you non-stop. And remember, as the ancient Stoics taught us, mastering yourself is the first step to mastering life. If you're ready to take on this challenge, to become a beacon of calm in a stormy world, share your commitment in the comments below. Let's see who's ready to embrace the power of self-control and make an unforgettable impression. Number 2. Rational decision-making. Mastering self-control is only the beginning. Once you've learned to manage your emotions, the next crucial step is to harness that calmness into rational decision-making. In a world that often values speed over thoughtfulness, the ability to make reasoned, deliberate choices sets you apart. As Friedrich Nietzsche once remarked, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." In the same vein, when you understand the why behind your decisions, the how becomes much clearer. Imagine this. You're in a high-pressure situation at work. Critical project deadline is looming, and the team is scrambling to find a solution. Panic sets in, and rash decisions are being thrown around like confetti at a parade. But instead of joining the chaos, you take a step back. You assess the situation, weigh the pros and cons, and most importantly, think about the long-term consequences. It's in this moment that your calm, rational approach shines. You propose a solution that, while not the quickest fix, is the most sustainable one. And when the dust settles, it's clear that your thoughtful decision saved the day. Stoics believed that reason is what separates us from the rest of the animal kingdom. Marcus Aurelius, a paragon of Stoic thought, reminded us, reason and choice are within our power. This idea is central to rational decision-making. It's not about being emotionless or detached. It's about using your emotions as a guide, rather than a master. Think of it like steering a ship through rough waters. You can't control the waves, but you can control your course, making adjustments as needed, always with the destination in mind. But let's bring this down to earth. Picture yourself at a crossroads in a personal relationship. There's tension, perhaps a disagreement that has yet to be resolved. Your instinct might be to react immediately, to say the first thing that comes to mind, but instead you pause. You consider the impact of your words, not just in the heat of the moment, but in the days, weeks, and months to come. You choose your words carefully, aiming not to win the argument, but to preserve the relationship. This is rational decision-making at its finest. It's not about being right, it's about doing what's right. Here's a practical exercise. The next time you're faced with a decision, whether big or small, take a moment to ask yourself, what would be the best outcome for everyone involved? This simple question shifts your perspective from one of self-interest to one of broader consideration. It aligns your choices with your values and the long-term impact on your life and the lives of those around you. Rational decision-making is like planting a tree. You don't see the fruits immediately, but with time, the benefits become evident. It's about making choices today that will bear fruit tomorrow and beyond. And the more you practice this, the more people will start to see you as a person of depth and wisdom, someone whose judgment can be trusted in even the most turbulent times. So, as you continue to master these skills, remember that every decision is an opportunity to reinforce your character, to build your legacy. The choices you make today are the seeds of the reputation you'll harvest tomorrow. And trust me, people notice. They start thinking, what would they do in this situation? And that's how you live on in their thoughts, not just for the decisions you make, but the way you make them. If you're ready to start practicing rational decision-making, to make choices that not only solve problems, but also build your reputation, share your commitment in the comments below. Let's see who's ready to step up and make decisions that matter. Decisions that last. Number 3. Resilience in adversity. Rational decision-making lays the foundation, but resilience in adversity builds the structure that stands the test of time. It's not enough to make wise choices. You must also weather the storms that inevitably follow. Stoics believed that life's challenges are not just obstacles, but essential tests of character. As Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, once said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." Resilience is the crucible where true strength is forged. Consider this. Every setback, every obstacle, every piece of adversity is an opportunity to refine yourself. It's not about avoiding the blows, but about how you respond when they land. Picture a craftsman hammering a piece of iron. Each strike shapes the metal, making it stronger, more resilient. That's how life works. It forges you through the fires of adversity, turning weaknesses into strength. Imagine you're part of a startup and things aren't going as planned. Your product launch has failed and the financial backers are pulling out. Panic spreads through the team like wildfire. But instead of succumbing to despair, you take a step back, assess the situation with a calm mind, and lead your team through the crisis. You find alternative solutions, pivot where necessary, and slowly but surely, you turn the tide. When the dust settles, it's your resilience that everyone remembers, not just the fact that you survived, but how you thrived in the face of adversity. As the Stoics taught, it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. When you approach challenges as opportunities rather than threats, you transform your mindset. Marcus Aurelius put it perfectly. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Resilience is the ability to turn barriers into bridges, transforming what could be a roadblock into a stepping stone. Resilience is like a tree growing in harsh conditions. Its roots dig deeper, its branches stretch higher, all in search of the nutrients and light it needs to survive. Over time, it becomes stronger, more robust, able to withstand the fiercest storms. People are drawn to that kind of strength. They notice it. They admire it. They think about how you stood tall when others faltered, how you persisted when others gave up. Here's an actionable step. The next time you face adversity, take a moment to reflect before react. Ask yourself, how can I grow from this? What can I learn? This mental shift not only helps you navigate the immediate challenge, but also builds the resilience you'll need for the future. It's about developing the mindset that no matter what happens, you have the strength to overcome it. Resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about knowing that even when you break, you have the power to rebuild yourself stronger than before. It's about facing the inevitable challenges of life with a determination that says, I will rise again, no matter what. And as you do, you become someone who is not just remembered, but admired and respected for your unwavering strength. So challenge yourself to embrace adversity as an integral part of your journey. Share in the comments below a time when you overcame a significant challenge, and let's inspire each other to build the resilience that not only gets us through tough times, but also leaves an indelible mark on those who witness our journey. Number 4. Mindful presence. Resilience in adversity strengthens our character, but mindful presence deepens our connections. In a world buzzing with notifications and endless to-do lists, the ability to truly be in the moment is increasingly rare. Yet, as Confucius once said, wherever you go, go with all your heart. This isn't just advice for travelers, it's a call to engage fully with the people and moments that fill our lives. Mindful presence isn't simply about being there. It's about showing up, your whole self, mind, body, and spirit. The Stoics taught that our attention is one of the few things truly within our control. When we choose to direct it fully to the person in front of us, we offer a gift more valuable than any material possession. The gift of being genuinely seen and heard. Imagine you're at a coffee shop with a friend. The world outside is rushing by, but inside, you choose to focus solely on the conversation. You listen intently, not just to the words but to the emotions behind them. You respond thoughtfully, showing that you're not just hearing, truly understanding. This kind of engagement is magnetic, like a warm fireplace on a cold night, inviting, comforting, and memorable. Mindful presence is also about the little moments, like when you're in the checkout line at the grocery store and the cashier seems rushed and overwhelmed. Instead of impatiently tapping your foot or scrolling through your phone, you offer a genuine smile. Kind word. That small act of being fully present can turn an ordinary interaction into a meaningful exchange, something that both you and the other person will remember. Here's a practical exercise. The next time you're with someone, whether it's a friend, colleague, or even a stranger, make a conscious decision to be fully present. Put your phone away, maintain eye contact, and listen with the intent to understand, not just to reply. Notice how this changes the dynamic of your interaction. You might find that the conversation flows more naturally, that the other person feels more comfortable, and that the connection you form is deeper and more meaningful. Mindful presence is like being a gardener in a world of fast food. While others rush through moments, you're carefully tending to the seeds of connection, watering them with your full attention, allowing them to grow and flourish. Over time, these small mindful moments add up, creating a garden of deep, meaningful relationships. As you practice this, you'll notice that people start to gravitate towards you. They'll remember how you made them feel truly valued, truly understood. And in a world where so many are hungry for real connection, being that person who is fully present makes you unforgettable. So, next time you're with someone, resist the urge to be anywhere else but right there. Practice mindful presence and watch as your relationships grow richer, your connections deepen, and you become the person people can't help but think about. If you're ready to make this shift, to be that rare individual who truly shows up in a world full of distractions, share your commitment in the comments below with, "I'm fully here." Let's cultivate this skill together, one mindful moment at a time. Number 5. Emotional regulation. Building mindful presence lays the groundwork for meaningful connections. But emotional regulation takes it a step further by shaping the way those connections impact the people around you. Anyone can become angry. That is easy, Aristotle once noted. But to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not easy. Emotional regulation is about mastering this balance, channeling your emotions constructively, rather than letting them control you. Imagine you're at a family gathering and a relative makes a comment that strikes a nerve. Your initial reaction might be to snap back, but instead you pause, take a deep breath, and choose your words carefully. Instead of escalating the situation, you diffuse it. This not only keeps the peace, but also elevates your standing in the eyes of those around you. They see you as someone who remains calm and composed, someone who doesn't let emotions dictate their actions. And this makes you memorable. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control the events that happen to us, we can always control our reactions to them. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the essence of emotional regulation. It's not about suppressing your emotions, it's about managing them wisely. Think of emotional regulation like a seasoned sailor steering a ship through turbulent waters. The waves may be rough. The captain's steady hand keeps the ship on course. Here's a practical exercise. The next time you feel a strong emotion swelling up, whether it's frustration in traffic, anxiety before a presentation, or excitement at a social gathering, take a moment to pause. Count to 5 and ask yourself, what outcome do I want from this situation? This simple pause allows you to choose a response that aligns with your values and desired outcomes, rather than a reaction driven purely by emotion. When you practice emotional regulation, you become like a thermostat in the room, setting the tone for others to follow. Your calmness under pressure has a ripple effect, helping to soothe and stabilize those around you. People start to see you not just as someone who can handle their own emotions, but as a person who brings a sense of calm and clarity to any situation. And that, my friends, is a rare quality that leaves a lasting impression. Think of your emotions like a wild horse. Without control, they can take you anywhere, often to places you don't want to go. But with a steady hand and clear direction, that same horse becomes a powerful ally, helping you reach your destination. This is the power of emotional regulation. It's about harnessing the energy of your emotions, using them to fuel your actions rather than derail them. So, here's your challenge. The next time you feel your emotions boiling over, pause, breathe, and choose your response. Notice how this small act of control can change the entire outcome of a situation, and observe how people react differently when you maintain your composure. If you're ready to embrace the power of emotional regulation, share your commitment below with the words, "Calm is my choice." Let's cultivate the strength together and become the kind of people who are remembered not just for our actions, for how we make others feel. Number 6. Virtuous living. Emotional regulation gives us the power to steer our responses. Virtuous living anchors those responses in something deeper, our values. Virtue isn't just a concept from ancient philosophy. It's the compass that guides us through life's toughest decisions. Character is destiny, as the Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said. It's true. How you act, especially when no one is watching, determines the course of your life and the legacy you leave behind. Living virtuously is not about being perfect or always taking the easy path. It's about making choices that align with your highest principle, even when those choices are difficult. Imagine you're working late on a project, and the deadline is looming. You realize that taking a shortcut could save you hours of work, and no one would ever know. The temptation is strong, but you pause. You ask yourself, is this who I want to be? You decide to put in the extra effort, to do the job right, because your integrity is worth more than the time saved. The Stoics taught that virtue is the only true good. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, constantly reminded himself to act with honesty, courage, and compassion, values that he believed were the core of a meaningful life. Do not act as if you had 10,000 years to live, he wrote. Fate is at your elbow. Make yourself good while life and power are still yours. This is the essence of virtuous living, understanding that each moment is an opportunity to embody your highest values, to leave a mark on the world that speaks to the best of who you are. Here's a practical exercise. The next time you're faced with a decision, big or small, take a moment to reflect on your values. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be? And does this decision align with that vision? By consistently choosing the path of virtue, you build a life that not only you can be proud of, but one that others will respect and admire. Over time, people start to associate you with integrity, with someone who doesn't waver when tested. This is how you become unforgettable, not by seeking attention, by quietly and consistently living according to your values. Virtuous living is like planting a tree. Each choice rooted in integrity adds strength to your character. And as the years pass, that tree grows, offering shade, shelter, and inspiration to those around you. People notice when you stand firm in your principles, just as they notice a tree that stands tall despite the storms. So, here's your challenge. Next time you find yourself at a crossroads, choose the path that aligns with your highest values, even if it's the harder one. Notice how it feels to act with integrity, and how others begin to see you as a beacon of reliability and trust. If you're ready to embrace virtuous living and let your actions speak louder than words, share your commitment in the comments with "I choose virtue." Let's inspire each other to build lives that reflect the best of who we are and leave a legacy that others will remember. Number 7. Acceptance of what is. Living virtuously gives you a solid foundation, but acceptance of what is strengthens that foundation against the unpredictable forces of life. Acceptance isn't about surrendering to circumstances. It's about recognizing and embracing reality with wisdom and clarity. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminded us, happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Imagine you've meticulously planned a project, every detail accounted for, only to have it fall apart at the last minute due to unforeseen circumstances. Most people would react with frustration or even anger, railing against the injustice of it all. But in that moment, the Stoic perspective offers a different path. Acceptance allows you to acknowledge the situation for what it is. Disappointing, yes, but not the end. By accepting reality, you conserve your energy for what truly matters, finding the best way forward. In a practical sense, acceptance is about letting go of the need to control everything and focusing instead on how you respond. Picture yourself in a situation where someone criticizes your work unfairly. The initial reaction might be defensive, even angry, but instead of reacting impulsively, you pause, reflect, and consider the validity of their points. You accept the critique for what it is, respond calmly, and use it as an opportunity to grow. This not only diffuses potential conflict, but also leaves a lasting impression of your composure and grace. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. This timeless quote from the Serenity Prayer encapsulates the essence of acceptance. It's about discerning where your efforts are best placed, on the things you can influence rather than the things you cannot. Think of acceptance as the roots of a tree. Deep and stable, they allow the tree to stand firm even when the winds of change and adversity blow fiercely. Just as a tree cannot control the wind, but can withstand it by being deeply rooted, so too can you face life's challenges by being rooted in the reality of what is, rather than wishing for what isn't. So, here's your challenge. The next time life throws something unexpected your way, take a moment to pause, acknowledge the reality of the situation without judgment, and ask yourself, what can I control? What can I do now? By practicing acceptance, you shift your focus from what's lost to what's possible, resistance to resilience. If you're ready to embrace this powerful skill and make acceptance a cornerstone of your life, share your commitment with I accept what is. Let's encourage each other to face reality with courage, and in doing so, become the people others look to in times of uncertainty, those who are remembered not for resisting life's challenges, but for navigating them with wisdom and grace. Number 8. Purposeful action. Acceptance of what is gives us the clarity to see reality as it is, but purposeful action is what allows us to shape that reality into something meaningful. Purposeful action is about making every decision count, about not just moving through life, but moving with intention. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Purposeful action is the embodiment of that preparation. It's the deliberate steps you take every day to turn your vision into reality. Purposeful action means that everything you do has a reason behind it, clear connection to your goals and values. Imagine you're managing a team on a crucial project. Instead of just delegating tasks and checking off boxes, you take the time to understand the strengths of each team member, aligning their responsibilities with their skills and passions. You communicate the larger purpose of the project, ensuring everyone understands not just what they're doing, but why it matters. This approach transforms the project from a series of tasks into a shared mission. Your team starts to see you not just as a manager, but as a leader with a vision, someone who inspires them to give their best. Let deeds match words. This simple yet powerful advice from the ancient Roman statesman and philosopher Cicero reminds us that purpose is not just an idea, but an action. It's about taking those intentions and turning them into tangible outcomes. It's easy to talk about what we want to achieve. The challenge lies in doing the work, day in and day out, to make those goals a reality. A practical step to living with purposeful action is to begin each day by identifying not just what you need to do, but why you're doing it. Ask yourself, how does this task contribute to my larger goals? What impact will this action have? This practice helps ensure that your day isn't filled with busy work, but with meaningful progress. It's not just about checking off items on a to-do list. It's about making sure that each item moves you closer to where you want to be. Purposeful action is like an artist with a canvas. Each stroke of the brush is intentional, contributing to the creation of something beautiful and complete. In the same way, when you live with purpose, every action you take adds to the masterpiece of your life. People begin to notice that you're not just living passively, but actively creating your path. They're drawn to that energy, that sense of direction, and they start to see you as someone who is not just going through life, but leading it. So, here's your challenge. Start each day with intention. Identify your purpose, and let that guide your actions. When you live this way, you don't just leave an impression, you leave a legacy. If you're ready to embrace purposeful action and make every move count, share your commitment with I Move with Purpose. Let's inspire each other to live not just with intention, but with a relentless focus on turning that intention into reality. Number 9. Gratitude for the present. Gratitude is the natural extension of purposeful action. When you're living with intention, every moment becomes something to be thankful for. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach, said the Roman philosopher Seneca. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. Gratitude for the present moment is the anchor that keeps us grounded, preventing us from getting lost in the past or consumed by the future. Gratitude is not just a feel-good practice. It's a transformative one. When you actively appreciate what you have right now, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. This shift is palpable to those around you. Imagine you're sitting with a friend at a coffee shop. Instead of being distracted by your phone or worrying about what's next, you take a moment to express how much you appreciate the conversation, the warmth of the coffee, and the simple pleasure of being present with someone who matters. This isn't just about making small talk. It's about creating a moment of connection that is both genuine and unforgettable. Here's a practical way to incorporate gratitude into your daily life. Start by acknowledging the little things. It could be the morning sunlight streaming through your window, the taste of a good meal, or a kind word from a stranger. Keep a journal and jot down these moments of gratitude. Over time, this practice will train your mind to focus on the positive aspects of your life, even on challenging days. Gratitude is like a magnet. It attracts positivity and goodwill. Just as a magnet draws iron filings, your gratitude pulls in more reasons to be thankful. People are drawn to those who radiate this energy because it's both comforting and inspiring. When you express gratitude, you're not just acknowledging the present, you're elevating it. You're turning ordinary moments into something extraordinary. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the importance of gratitude, noting that life's fleeting nature makes every moment precious. He urged us to receive without pride, let go without attachment. This is the essence of gratitude. To fully embrace what is, without clinging to what was or yearning for what might be. It's about being fully alive in the present, and this presence is what makes you memorable. So, here's your challenge. Make gratitude a daily habit. Start each day by acknowledging something you're thankful for, no matter how small. When you're with others, let them know what you appreciate about them or the moment you're sharing. Notice how this simple act changes the dynamics of your relationships and how others start to think of you as a source of positivity and peace. If you're ready to embrace gratitude and let it shape your life, share your commitment with Grateful for Now. Let's create a community where we remind each other of the power of the present and the joy that comes from appreciating it. Number 10. Emotional intelligence. Gratitude for the present opens our hearts to the beauty of the moment, but it's emotional intelligence that deepens our connections with others, making us truly unforgettable. Emotional intelligence is not just a buzzword. It's the art of understanding both your own emotions and the emotions of those around you. As Aristotle wisely observed, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. This insight forms the foundation of emotional intelligence. It's about self-awareness first, and then extending that understanding to others. Emotional intelligence allows you to navigate complex social situations with the same precision a skilled sailor uses to steer a ship through stormy seas. It's about recognizing the undercurrents of emotion that influence every interaction and responding in a way that fosters trust, respect, and genuine connection. Picture this. You're in a team meeting and a colleague sharply criticizes your idea. Most people might react defensively or shut down, allowing the negative energy to dictate the course of the conversation. But instead, you choose to pause, acknowledge their perspective, and calmly ask questions to understand their concerns better. This approach not only diffuses the tension, but also shows your willingness to listen and learn. By maintaining composure and demonstrating empathy, you transform the interaction from conflict to collaboration, leaving a positive and lasting impression on everyone in the room. To cultivate emotional intelligence, start by practicing active listening. This means giving the other person your full attention. No distractions, no interrupting, just listening. It's about hearing not just the words they're saying, but the emotions behind those words. This practice doesn't just improve your relationships. It changes how people perceive you. They start to see you as someone who truly understands them. Someone who can navigate emotional landscapes with grace and insight. Consider this metaphor. Emotional intelligence is like the rudder of a ship. Without it, you're at the mercy of the waves, tossed around by every swell of emotion. But with it, you steer your interactions with purpose and direction, guiding them toward more positive outcomes. You become the calm in the storm, the person others look to when emotions are running high and clear judgment is needed. Here's your challenge. The next time you find yourself in a charged emotional situation, whether it's a heated meeting at work, a disagreement with a friend, or even just a stressful moment in your day, pause and practice emotional intelligence. Listen deeply, reflect on your own emotions, and respond in a way that's both thoughtful and empathetic. Notice how this changes the dynamic of the interaction, how it brings you closer to others, and how it makes you someone they remember long after the conversation has ended. If you're ready to cultivate emotional intelligence and become the person who can turn any situation into a moment of connection and understanding, share your commitment with the words, "I lead with empathy." Together, let's build a community where emotional intelligence isn't just a skill, but a way of life, one that makes us all a little more human and a lot more unforgettable. So there you have it, folks. 10 powerful skills rooted in Stoic philosophy that can make you truly unforgettable. Now it's time to turn these insights into action. Pick one skill that resonates most with you, whether it's self-control, emotional intelligence, or purposeful action, and commit to practicing it today. Notice the impact it has not only on your own life, but on how others perceive you. Then, come back and share your experience in the comments. Your journey can inspire someone else to take their first step. And remember, this is a community where we learn and grow together. If you found value in this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content on mastering life's challenges with Stoic wisdom. Like the video, drop a comment. Let's continue this journey to becoming the best version of ourselves. Stay strong, stay wise, and keep making those unforgettable moves.